Okay, so I'm all set. I have my water. I have some paper towels that I cut and stacked. And as my palette, I am going to use this styrofoam meat tray. I like using meat trays. They're easier to move around than a palette paper pad. So I make sure that when I see one, I stick it in the dishwasher to get it clean, and that is what I use. So what I'm going to do first here is I am going to set in the background color. And I really don't even have to worry about the lower half because that is going to be full of houses, but I'll probably just end up doing everything. Now, the first color I'm going to use, it's called Sky. My favorite medium is acrylic paints. So I'm going to treat these paints though as watercolors. So I am putting my brush in the water and letting it soak up. And we'll put a little bit of this out, get my paintbrush, pat it out a bit, and go into the paint and just drag it out. Okay, lots of color there. So I'm just going to add it. Now because I did the water in it, and I did put too much paint out, but what are you gonna do? So when this dries, I can put color on it, on top of it, and it's not gonna move. So that is why I like the acrylic paint. So you can see I have water, tap it out just a little bit, and when I go back and forth while it's still wet, I do have working time. I'm just going across. You know what I'm going to do? Of course you don't know. I'm going to tell you. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush, and I am going to come down on the bottom with greens, sort of like a lawn. So let's just put, I have to learn not to put so much paint out because it does, you do waste it. Thing about acrylic paints is they're not like watercolor paints. They can act like watercolor paints in some aspects, but once that dries, it's not usable anymore. So now I took the lime, clean your brush off, and dragged it out. And I will start at the bottom and just go back and forth. And I can go right up into the blue. Now there is a line there. If you're going to blend colors in acrylic paint, you have to work really, really fast when they're actually both wet. And this is already dry, the blue. But it doesn't matter because they're going to be houses. Okay, and then what I'll do is, for the sake of show and tell, I'm going to take some evergreen, just put a drop out. That's all you need really. And I am going to wet my paper. I'm going to drag out the evergreen paint so that on top, because it's wet, I can get some pretty decent blending going in. Okay, so I have light yellow in there and the darker green in there. And if I wanted to do a darker green, I would take the evergreen and I would mix it with some burnt umber or black. But I want this piece to be happy, so I am going to let it be. Clean off my brush and wipe off my area. Now if this starts to warp, as you might say, I can tape it down onto a work surface, which I probably am going to do. So sometimes you just don't know what you're going to do. So I am just tapping the surface with the paper towel. It's drinking up the wetness. And there you go. Sometimes I'll watch YouTube videos from the ladies over the pond, and they call paper towels, I think it's kitchen rolls. I think that's cute. Kitchen rolls. I know Diana Reevely does it. Yeah. Diane Reevely. I have taken classes from her. She's fun. Alright, so this is wet. I am going to get my my blow dryer, my heat tool. That's what I'm going to do. So let me go get that.